special favors. Women could ask special favors of their husbands. The slaves could ask favors of the masters. You know, each 5 days of sort of festivities and special stuff.
Sort of Mardi Gras, the suspension of the laws.
Yeah.
This is the Mayans?
The Mayans and back in the early Romans had the same thing too. Those ended up with a calendar of 360 days. Of course, it doesn't work out. So they figured that out.
They played parties for 5 days and they started back on the year.
And then later on, I guess we came to the 12-day thing.
Chinese New Year lasts for a couple of weeks, doesn't it?
Is that what they call Hanukkah?
It's Jewish, no, I'm not sure. It's the end of the year, isn't it?
Festival of the Lights, it's a deliverance. They
Oh, yeah,
They were
that's
being
right.
besieged,
Oh,
and they only had enough oil, and they spread out the significance of the candles. 1 day of oil, but each day it was replenished. And they broke the siege, they went conquered and all that sort of stuff. So it's the Festival of the Lights for the candles on the menorah, and their deliverance from another group of bad guys that were trying to eradicate them.
Nations or something. Egyptians.
Somebody had decided to take over the neighborhood.
Oh, Brahma. Oh. The Cossacks. Did they conquer somebody? Russia.
Yeah. They used to,
That was a mistake, wasn't it?
War II on the Jewish presence here. Cossacks, ogres. It's very Jewish.
Yeah. Now they were part of the Viking deal, wasn't
I just Scandinavian.
it? Scandinavian Vikings was.
Yeah.
I thought they spread down all through that.
Well, they did. The Vikings
they
made it as
to
far as
Russia.
Rome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they went that way.
They
They also
yeah.
came in the Mediterranean
And
and
then
conquered as far as Rome.
Because the Byzantine Empire, the royal guard was Vikings that had gone through Russia.
Byzantine.
Byzantine.
How you gonna pronounce it? Okay.
But the Vikings weren't. Well, they weren't like the Taino Indians or someone who conquered for the sake of conquering. They were traders. It's just if you didn't want to trade with them, they'd stick a sword in you and find someone who did. So they set up their trading routes by brute force and conquered places that had stuff that they wanted to sell. Profits are higher if you don't have to buy it before you sell it. And so they expanded, and all the stories about the Viking warriors and all the horrible things they did, that's their expansion. But behind that expansion, they settled, moved in.
And took some of the,
They absorbed.
assimilated some of the culture.
They assimilated anything they could.
They didn't express theirs on other people.
No, they didn't care. Once you were conquered, and as long as you were behaving yourself, they didn't care who you worshipped, how you lived, the way you dressed. Just as long as they were making money, they were happy.
Also, they wanted knowledge too. They wanted knowledge of the other culture.
In other words, if they come up to attack you and take what you had, you go, whoa, whoa, here, I'm a Viking too. Okay, glad to meet you and go on, right?
Well, I suppose you could surrender, but they usually didn't ask first. They were sort of
Just
like,
take, here, bud. I'm a Viking, let's share.
they just sort of, they're actually are prayers in Old English, Christian prayers that if you translate them from the Old English into present day, begin with, "O Lord, deliver us from the Vikings."
And they believed, what was that God that they prayed to?
There were several gods.
Yeah, the whole, it was a pantheon.
main
They
one.
were pantheists. They were pantheists.
Odin was the war god.
They believed in the Norse.
Well, that's all they practiced when they were war.
Well, that was their expansion to set up their trade routes. But they were tremendous traders.
Odin was pretty much the knockoff of the Greek and the Hebrew god of Ares and Ares was Roman and then Roman was Mars. Yeah, Ares and Mars. It was pretty much the same thing. He said Odin had a more mischievous nature about himself than the warlike. But he did it in a warlike manner. He did everything in a warlike manner, but he was very mischievous about it. It was kind of a way of saying this is irony.
Well, the gods were dysfunctional too in a lot of those societies.
Yes, they sure were.
Yeah, Constantine certainly simplified it. Christianity to one God. Because man, it got confusing.
Yeah.
You had gods of doorways and gods of everything. You know, so.
Yeah, that's pretty good into the Greek name. Greek and the Roman gods. And technically that's the reason I'm agnostic, because I just believe they're all the same thing. They're all the same thing. They're just using different terminology.
Blind men and the elephant.
They're all talking about the same thing. They're just using different terminology for whatever language they use.
Your name Johnson?
Oh, okay.
It's got 3 verses, and it's got,
Lady Gaga, there, and I forgot what. Dixie Lane, where I was born, born.
yeah, it's got 3 verses and a chorus.
Yeah. Of course, I can't really second, third.
It's got 3 verses and a chorus. The lyrics are sell my soul to South. Jeremy Lake, and we had.
Man, your brother shaved himself, didn't he? I thought, who the heck is that in a suit? It's Eric.
What was that song I was asking you about that one time? Ugly Little Girl?
Pretty little girl.
Pretty Little Girl?
Which goes by another, it's like, it's an A tune.
John Brown had a dream about a pretty little girl while they were breaking up Christmas.
I think that was it, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes by,
Gotta be
Pretty Little
one.
Girl goes by another name. Not John Brown's dream, but.
Pretty little girl is a different tune than John Brown's dream.
Yeah, but I say, I'm saying, John Brown had a dream about a pretty little girl while they were breaking up Christmas.
I'm thinking, when I find out, but it's,
Yeah, it's Pretty Little Girl.
in North Carolina, they call it Pretty Little